Hello everyone, today I'm going to take a flip through of my, how should I call it, my proposed designs, production designs and art direction, illustrations, drawings, documentation for my fourth feature film, Song of the Stock. So I recently found this file again, and yeah, I'll just do a simple flip through and description to get you guys up to speed lah. I might skip some, but yeah, you have a general gist. It will come. A lot of it comes with location photos and whatever sketches I have, and each sketch comes with Vietnamese translation. Because the film is filmed in Vietnamese, actors speak in Vietnamese, and my entire crew in the art department were all Vietnamese. I'm the only English speaking, or so I'm told, English speaking dude from overseas lah. So yes, let's have a quick look. Again, I'm trying to do as much details as I can, and when all else fails in words and communication, drawings is supposed to pave the way for what people choose to accept or do not accept. Like for example, Van, the main character, sits under the tree with this configuration of weapons here and flowers and whatnot. And that's where he sits in the entire place. When I went for recce with the two directors that were directing the show. Again, even the interiors of the huts was something that, let's say, something like I want it to look like this, and they'll create, the production crew will create as close to what I can and embellish with their own additional authenticity and designs. That to me was important. Like this particular location is part of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The steps do exist, but I requested for railings to go up the pass, and it is how should I put it, it is in line with existing documentation from the years before as well, for safety and as well for visual purposes. A lot of things I've found through making this feature film that I'll talk about, and I do share with the students who do listen, that for example, this film is about the Vietnam War, and a lot of reference I had was from books and magazines, and a lot of reference were in black and white actually, but at the same time I had audio references from actual folks who had been through the war and spoke through a translator as well, and a lot of them said this, and I recognize as well, there are a lot of print we see like in magazines, behind the scenes, were a point of view from not necessarily the folks who went through the war. It might well be propaganda in the terms of media play, and it might not necessarily showcase the actual reality. Does that make sense? So then to me it is important, especially when we're doing period pieces, to understand the actual truth, you want to call it. Then from there, then we can extrapolate and do creative decision making in deciding what to show in terms of reality or hyper reality in terms of the celluloid cinematic content, if that makes sense. As generic as something like that, for example, a hut is the very least indication of, like, I need a bed, I need mosquito net, tables and chairs, drawings, and this is like basic commander's tent. Of course, there's a whole lot more when it comes to not a matter of not just historical accuracy, but of course the particular needs and details are not put in, like what type of pens, what type of lamps. Like this is like generic lamps, like water bottles, even the mosquito net. I wanted something to have a illusion of depth, but also separation, that something could be inside something, there could be a light inside as well. So it's something like this where I try to express what I desire, with the crew coming back with further details. Not gonna front. Like for example, plans of how the hut is, the car, in terms of location. This entire Song of the Stock, a lot of it was mountainous regions. Oh, a flashback of NS days, man. Mountainous regions, like for this particular scene, trucks, there'll be trucks that go through and bypass. So stuff like that. So a bit of landscaping as well. Yeah, this is how it looks like. I mean, I wish I had a footage to show what was it I hope to convey. I mean, this is at night lah. I mean, this is the closest I can to literally depict what I wanted to see and what the directors wanted to see. Yes, all the drawings here are drawn by myself to make it totally transparent. The love hut is hilarious, man. How they put all these also spoken to actual folks who had lived through the war, and this was what they conveyed the love hut to be. Love hut was very interesting because these were soldiers that have not necessarily been discharged out of the army, but they were given time off to go and visit their loved ones or their wives in this particular environment where they canoodle, relive their married existence, spend some time together before they go back into the field. So hence it's called Love Hut. It's sometimes thinking about this is quite hard rendering, but this is how it looks like. Again, this configuration, I think this is the hospital. We had a hospital, yes it is, we had a hospital, field hospital in a cave. They wanted to create bamboos and whatnot, a functional hospital, in at least in terms of visual aspect, because we could do that instead of just conceivable visual cues. Sorry, the sound from the truck outside. That why does it happen now? Anyway, modern context in the office. So even office layout. Probably we got an empty room with windows that have great views outside, and we need to dress up how the hospital, the tables are, and the positions are, and where it's also for camera to see, for the talents to see. I mean, all of these are all in part and parcel of the scene, like corridors. Yeah, this I remember this. We had to build a bomb shelter in the middle of a crowded street, an island street that no longer exists. But back in the war, there was makeshift, proper built-up bomb shelters. Like all these details that, again, through research and through conversations that we find out. I don't know, university, the general buildings still exist. A lot of scenes or sets in Vietnam do exist, but of course, through change of time, certain things will change. So it's a matter of taking in and out, putting stuff relevant in and taking stuff out, as per all productions anyway. So details, all the details in English, in Vietnamese. Nice. I remember this because they gave me a flat. They found me a house like this because we had an exterior, which is great. But the matter of cleaning all this up and sprucing it up for visual purposes is always a challenge, but it's also the fun aspect of filmmaking, I guess. Not gonna deny it. So we have a little temple. I'll say this is hilarious, not in a good way. All these initially it was a master shot of the entire temple, and in the end it turned out to be close-up shots that I do not necessarily see any of this, which is very, very fair, because in any cinematic or whatever visual context, we might not necessarily want to show deities and holy stuff, if that makes sense. Whether or not you're fans folks or not, you have an idea of it, because at some point want to have a point of view from beyond the deity. That means from behind the deity is to see the character looking. Of course, that's a bit tricky, but it's doable if it's a controlled situation. And having an actual temple to be shot at, like that was to film that, of course that's a bit tricky. Yeah, this was a temple. Lovely exterior, like I could have an urn outside and have, environment with a great tree. This is wonderful, man. This was a existing location that we found. It's like what would be in the scene, a cafe explosion scene. So this was my Hollywood plan. I would have been able to, had the opportunity, nearly had, because it didn't happen in the end, to create an entire street where one of the locations is to be blasted, like they plant bombs inside, they carry bombs inside. And this was the initial location. It literally was full-on renovation and construction, clearing of the roads. So these were the effort that made in through even basic layout design, what I envisioned the location to be. Again, yeah, just in the end of the day, these are just photographs to remember what I planned to do by, what I planned to design for. Exteriors. Again, all of these are a lot of exteriors we don't necessarily go in. So yes, it could be done. This was actually carried out. It was until now what we call the Huaibon house, where we did find a location of dilapidated houses that I would create with rubble. You create with literally bash through ceiling as if the bomb dropped here, and on this side it was modern stuff, but conceivably we could have, if I can see my floor plan, yeah, a dolly where camera could follow the character as she walked in. So it's a full-on follow. In the end, it became a handheld follow, which heightened the tension great, but visually it exposed quite a little bit here and there. But then again, we did shoot it night, so we didn't do a day for night. We literally shot it at night, flames burning, people shouting, pure chaos. I mean, there is footage, but no, there isn't any footage. You need to get the DVD. There was footage on YouTube for a while, but now it's gone. It's been taken off. So yeah, I'm gonna miss this out, except for still images I could share. Another scene, Uncle Bar's photo taking. I remember this. In the end, we did find a location instead of we propped up a location instead of building the location. We have details like what type of table I want, what type of configuration and look, textures. Because at the end of the day, for this feature, a lot of it is green, a lot of it is wood. So I tried to play a bit more on the textures of wood. So it's not just all plain planks. It could be bamboo sticks. It could be different hues. Yeah, that was the plan anyway. This was the modern Lam's house, modern-ish Saigon, going into 60s, 70s. So it was great fun to find. These were like proposed designs, and location they find something close to what I had imagined it to be and what the producer directors wanted. So this was a look. I think we did find a location, but we didn't really shoot inside. We shot outside of it. It's a bit of a waste. So it's generic. No, I won't say generic. It's simple because, yeah, there's no because. I won't give away the story because, yeah, you will. I would give away the story, like a spoiler. So like even like doorways, how it's treated, details like that. This is a house, the Colonel's house that he was trying to. I was trying to do flamboyant, even layout design. I remember this house now. It was a blank space. It was a blank space that we was given to me that I could fill up with furniture and how the look I wanted. Do cornices, do designs around it, piano, sofa, everything. It was an empty house that I need to fill up. I think I have photos. One day I'll showcase the photos. You know, even a flower shop at the edge of the bridge where they go through. There's flower store. Something happens here, and you know, details like this I think would have been visually fun. Textures, again, textures like this. This is one of the what's the word for it? Modern day context where somebody sits here, and this is, I won't say spoiler, but it gives away what is supposed to happen. It's a framing sequence where a narrative framing sequence where someone sits here and looks through film footage, and again, it's based on an empty house, empty room that's given that how I'll dress up and how it looks. I think in the end we did go for a partially furnished house. Yeah, this was, yes, it is partially finished, I think. So it's like the beauty of whatever's existing, modern, and because a lot of things in Vietnam is making new out of old, olden locations. So it's like even glass windows, glass doors to remove. Then we see the old doors behind and things like that, or paint green. That whatever case allows that I'll propose, that they allow us to paint and do things to it. Exploded view layout. My wheelhouse, I cannot deny. Yeah, that's it. These are all faint sketches that I didn't annotate. Yeah, I think I'm ending with storyboards. I did the entire storyboard for this film as well. It's something which I wanted to do and then I requested to do. And there was about 4 months pre-pro for this shoot. 4 months if I'm not wrong. I mean, not back to back, it's on and off. Pre-pro in terms of locations, also spend an amount of time sitting down with 2 directors, going through the storyboard and drawing the storyboard. My logic was that I draw at the same time I can propose, I can have an understanding of the scene they want. And to me, that type of collaboration is something that I constantly look forward to. Being able to achieve it is another challenge by itself, but I feel it's something that we can do. It's not in terms of just servicing, but a collaborative effort. My name will still be production designer. I'm not going to have my name counter everyone else, but having a cohesive, wonderful product is the aim of the game lah. As I say, I mean, I wish I had footage to show in comparison to the storyboards I did, so at least you can have an understanding. This was quite close to the storyboard. Yeah, anyway, this is it. And this is my sharing of Song of the Stock, my production folder. There are of course a lot more, and you realize a lot of them were in black and white. Because like I said, the colors were all sedated, and we chose to film it is like not like treated like a classic, not treated like a flashback, sepia tone or whatnot, but as realistic as we could. So again, you see, this is the color palette throughout the entire show. This is the color palette, and you have your faint aspects of colors, and I didn't want to have colors pop out too much, otherwise it'll just be too jarring. But then that's just me. Even the university, it's very nicely yellow on the outside, but we don't really see as much of it as we see the floor. You know, it's like even lines like this we need to consider. Like even this building up the bomb shelter in front of the opera house. This was something in the end, it was pretty makeshift, and we went close-ups instead so couldn't do much to it. You see the color scheme is as the color palette is controlled. You want to put it in a nice way. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video soon. Bye bye.